Is dealing with more than just fake news. There's been a rise in fake African art, and once the work of an artist gets tainted, well, it's easily faked, I guess, and demand dwindles. This also has a devastating consequence for those who've invested in the art in the first place. So what advice is there to protect art lovers from falling prey to this? Let me take you back to Cape Town. I'm joined by insurance expert Christelle Coleman. Also gives us some good reasons, I hope, as to why art collectors should be ensuring that their art is well covered. Let's get to insurance and art in just a moment, Christelle. But first of all, fake African art, is it a big problem?
Well, we've heard in recent days that it is becoming a rising problem. And I think what makes that, even more concerning is the fact that not all insurance policies cover you when you are subjected to a scam. So, it's a very important issue that's being raised, and it's important for art collectors to understand the different insurance covers that you've got available and how you can protect yourself against this type of thing.
I suppose if you look for one small silver lining, it does say to us that there is a growing demand then for African art, and I suppose that's a good thing. The reality, though, is we've just got to take more precautions.
Absolutely. We've seen art as an investment, alternative investment class gain, traction over the years. And people are in South Africa specifically are growing their art collections. It's quite incredible to see because as insurers, we obviously see what people have in their homes. And not just collecting, largely collecting South African and African art, but people are also, of course, importing international artists. And there's a number of things that play around that because you can imagine even if it is an African artist importing into South Africa, always the exchange rate concern, how much will it cost to replace that item. And then, of course, what's being underestimated is the fact that art pieces appreciate differently from your normal household contents. So you have to be aware of those risks, as I said earlier on.
In fact, the figure that you give in that respect is that household contents normally appreciated anywhere between 7 and 10%, but you're saying that fine art can appreciate by a lot more than that, which again raises the entire question about how important it is if you're starting to collect that you get some good advice in this respect when it comes to insurance.
Yes, absolutely. So, you must remember the principle of insurance is replacement value. So we have to reinstate our clients so that they're in the position they were before the loss. So if you're just going to have a normal household contents policy and your sum insured is just sort of adjusted by 5-6% each year, you will be severely out of pocket if you consider the exchange rate issue and the fact that the art's probably appreciated way beyond, the inflation rate that we have in South Africa. And something else to consider is as well, if there has been a death of the artist, we typically see that those values appreciate quite dramatically in the year following the death of that artist. So to take out special insurance will not cost you that much more because it really still remains insurance of a contents item. But specialist insurance will make sure that you are covered for these specific items that we've mentioned now, such as the appreciation of the art value following the death of the artist, taking into account the fact that you have to insure your art not so much on just a normal replacement value basis, but on an agreed value basis. So art collectors know what their collection is worth. I mean, it's one of the reasons people collect is that they want to know the value of their collection. So they are very well informed. And it's very important that you insure those pieces, almost on a specified basis and on an agreed value. So you agree the value with your insurer based on the information that you got from your valuators. I mean, we've got amazing valuation experts in South Africa that we have access to, and of course our art collectors themselves are very aware of the cost of trading with these art pieces because we have access to information with the internet. So things have changed in recent years, and it's important to take that into consideration.
Just a quick answer, if you please, because we are heading up to our news bulletin at 10 o'clock.
Yeah.
One assumes that if there is now an increasing high valuation of local art, I'm going to get stung when it comes to premiums.
No, that's not the right assumption at all. Really, you find in South Africa the specialist policies, because they pick their clients by hand, offer very competitive deals. So the advice is shop around, get a broker and get the right cover in place. And you won't be out of pocket when you have a major loss or an armed robbery.
All right. Thank you very much for joining us from Elite Risk Acceptances. Insurance expert Christelle Coleman in Cape Town.